Hi, my name is Grant Johnson.
Hi, my name is Eden Vasquez.
We are interviewing Barry Thurston. The date is January 10th, 2019. Thank you for joining us. Where were you born?
Was born here on the island.
As a child, what was it like growing up on Nantucket?
It was truthfully, it'd be a lot different than now. Number one, the island probably had about 3,000 people on it at the time. My graduating class in high school had 20 kids in total. I came to the high school here, and it was brand new at the time. Not this big building that you see today, but I guess what is now the junior high school. So I came here in 1956 and graduated in June of 1959. As I said, with 20 kids. We had 15 boys and 5 girls. A real small class.
Now we have like 100 something in just 7th grade.
Hey, what?
Now we have like 100 something.
Yeah, I know it. It's amazing.
Like you mentioned, like when you guys would come to school, it'd be open field, and you guys would bring your guns and shoot ducks and pheasants.
Right. That should probably fall under the difference again between when I grew up on the island and now. When I grew up here, as I said, there were no houses over here on the right-hand side. The hospital wasn't there. My class was the first class to go all 4 years in this building here. They had just built it when I became a freshman. But I live off Quaker Road, and we used to actually hunt our way to school. We'd hunt down through Dead Horse Valley and these fields over here with nothing but fields without any homes in it. And then I guess what freaks most people out is that when we got to school, the principal at the time, Mrs. Walker, had a room set aside for our guns. So we would walk into school carrying guns. Nobody thought about anything about it in those days, but we couldn't take them to class. We had to give them Mrs. Walker. She would put them in this room and probably lock the room during the day. And then at night when we left, we'd go get our gun and hunt our way home. Quite a change.
Get arrested.
I'd get arrested today. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Where have you lived throughout your life?
Okay, when I left Nantucket, I lived in Boston for a number of years, went to college, and then worked there. And then I moved to New Jersey, Hartford, Connecticut, Baltimore, Maryland. Then I came back here.
What did you study in college?
I studied business.
Where did you go in college?
I went to Boston University.
What was one of your happiest memories of your life?
The happiest memory of my life. Wow. Probably, I'm going to have to be very politically correct here. It was either my wedding date or the birth of my daughter. One of the two. I should be free to get home tonight now. I said the right thing.
What were your parents' jobs as a kid?
Well, my father had a company down on the wharf. Now, the wharf in those days didn't look anything like it does today. There was no marina. The company had lumber yards and, believe it or not, coal sheds and a hardware store and gas stations. So it was really a working waterfront versus the marina that you see today. And my mother, like a lot of women in those days, didn't work. She stayed at home with the kids.
Was money hard to find?
Money? Yes, it was. It was nothing like it is today. Even in the summertime, it was still pretty quiet, and most people made most of their income in the summertime, but winter was pretty lean, probably.
What job do you do now?
Basically, I'm retired now. I sold my business. What I do in the summertime, I work for the trustees of reservations and give the natural history tours out at Great Point from May until October.
Have you built up your business?
Well, the business that I had that I sold, I guess we were talking about, and it was something I started from scratch and had it for 34 years, I think, until I sold it.
Could you tell us more about your business?
I will. The name of the store was Barry Thurston's Fishing Tackle, and that pretty much sums it up. It was a store that really dealt with fishing equipment for the individual versus commercial fishing equipment, beach casting or fishing from a boat, but aimed at the individual person, not commercial fishing. So I had that store, as I said, for I think 34 years. Met a lot of great people. Really enjoyed the 34 years of it. We had a good mixture of both local people and summer people.
I believe my grandfather went to your tackle shop a bit. Ken Huggins.
Yeah, and I remember your other grandfather, Phil Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun nowadays?
I do a lot of fishing in the summertime. In the wintertime, pretty much just exercising outdoors and nothing organized. Travel a lot if we can. That's always fun.
What are some of your hobbies?
Hobby, fishing, woodworking around the house.
How long have you been married?
43 years.
If you have any children, how many do you have?
I have one daughter.
What is your favorite restaurant and why?
The favorite restaurant? I guess probably it would be Fosaro's. First of all, I like the food, and to me it's a local couple that own it, and they stay open year round. That's important, I think.
If you could start over, what would your dream job be?
Good question. It would probably be in the engineering field, probably somewhere in maybe in automotive engineering.
What is your best childhood memory?
I think probably just there was so much open space on the island at the time that there were always baseball games going on or neighborhood games, and it was because there was so much open space. So at any time, especially in the summertime, all you really had to do was go downtown, and you could always find kids that wanted to play baseball or go to the beach. So I think my childhood memories are my best.
How has Nantucket changed from when you were a child to now?
Okay, first of all, the population is probably 4 to 5 times what it was when I was growing up here. Secondly, pretty much everybody lived in town. A few people live in Sconset, but all the houses that you see around the school here, including the school, they weren't here. So this was all open field. So just about everybody lived in town in those days.
What is your favorite time of the year?
The fall. The weather's still good. It's quieted down quite a bit. The water's still good for swimming and the fishing's good. So the fall, probably.
Well, thank you for letting us interview you.
It's my pleasure. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Glad to meet both of you.
You too. He owned a tackle shop in town for almost 35 years, and then sold it because he found it kind of getting a boring job, and then now he does tours out at Great Point.